the supermodel who has no plans to quit at 91. Carmen Dell'Orefice was just 13 when she was discovered. The year was 1944. Since then, she's remained a working fashion model. Today, she's the oldest working model in the world. Carmen will be 92 on June 3, 2023. How is it possible? Carmen was born in New York in 1931. She always wanted to perform for an audience. She started attending ballet classes early on. One day, 13-year-old Carmen was riding a bus to ballet class. She was approached by a woman. The woman's husband was the famed photographer Herman Landschoff. She offered young Carmen a chance to model for him. They took some test photos, but they were flopped. No one was impressed. However, Carmen got excited about the possibilities. In 1946, her godfather introduced her to Vogue. The 15-year-old signed a modeling contract for $7.50 an hour. She became a favorite model of photographer Erwin Blumenfeld, so she got her first ever Vogue cover that same year. It was the December 15, 1946 issue of US Vogue. Carmen's mother had left her father not long before. She struggled financially. Carmen's modeling income wasn't enough to support them. They couldn't afford a telephone. Vogue had to send runners to their apartment every time they had a job for Carmen. She roller skated to assignments to save on bus fares. She was so malnourished, her dresses had to be pinned back. Photographers stuffed the curves with tissue. Back home, Carmen helped her mother as a seamstress. One of their customers was Dorian Lee. Lee was one of America's first supermodels. She helped her get better rates. In 1947, Carmen was paid $10 to $25 per hour. She appeared on the October 1947 cover of Vogue. At 16, she worked with the most famous fashion photographers of the era: Irving Penn, Gleb Dzerzhinsky, Francesco Scavullo, Norman Parkinson, Richard Avedon. Carmen went on to become a model for Harper's Bazaar. She became a muse for Salvador Dalí. But Carmen's personal life was not as rosy. Her first husband exploited her financially. He picked up Carmen's modeling agency checks himself. She was only given a $50 allowance from her earnings. Her second husband was photographer Richard Hyman. Hyman insisted that she retire. When she refused, he left her. However, they remained friends until his death in 2013. Her third marriage lasted 11 years. In the late 1980s, Carmen got engaged to talk show host David Susskind, but he died before they were married. Then she met Norman F. Levy. This proved to be a disaster. Levy's best friend was Bernie Madoff. Carmen had already lost most of her money in the stock market. She was forced to auction off her famous modeling photographs. Now she invested her last savings with Madoff. For the next 5 years, they partied together on his lavish yachts. Then Levy died in 2005 at age 93. Madoff was the executor of his will. He used Levy's $244 million to scam more people. Carmen didn't know any of this until 2008, when she learned of her bankruptcy. After Madoff was exposed, she said,
"For the second time in my life, I've lost all of my life savings."
But today, Carmen says she doesn't regret anything. She's more in demand than ever.
"I have had more magazine covers in the last 25 years than I have had in my whole elongated career."
She's not concerned about her age.
"Most people don't know how to live their life, so they don't know how to die. That's why I always say, when I die it's going to be my way."